So as it turns out, one of the longest running aquarium services that I've had, which is a tank that I installed back in the summer of 1996, it's a 200-gallon in-wall tank. The homeowner has now sold the house. I understand that transaction's already occurred, and so hopefully here in the near future I'll be getting contacted by the new homeowner. The old homeowner didn't get away scot-free though. As it turns out, I went out to go double check on the refrigeration unit yesterday when I was there to service the tank for this last coming month, and the main water pump which drives that chiller was screaming. I ended up unplugging it, and of course it just seized up immediately. So I'm on my way out today to replace that water pump, and I just stopped at the hardware store. So if you want to come along with me, we're gonna jump in the van and we're gonna go replace that water pump. Okay, as I mentioned, I've been doing this tank for about 18 years. And it's just right on this way. Ah, beautiful tank. But the issue is outside. Out here is where the chiller and a large Milwaukee 100 water pump are located in what I'm going to call a doghouse. This being the doghouse, and this is where the pump and the chiller are located. But my concern is PVC pipe and tubing that is also 18 years old. So first things first, I need to move the cover, or what I call the doghouse, out of the way. So you can see with the cover out of the way, it's a bare bones chiller, and then it's got a section here where the water pump and the electrical sit. This allows it to vent itself so it doesn't overheat. Allows the chiller to discharge its heat, and yet it's protected from the water and such. One of the issues is the bougainvillea leaves, but I usually get here and clean those out on a regular basis. Now, when I came out yesterday, this Milwaukee 100 was grinding away, and I don't even know if it will even start up today. It's probably seized. So switching out the water pump shouldn't be too difficult. If I'm lucky, I'm just gonna cut that piece of PVC pipe right here, which will allow me to unthread it off the inlet of the water pump. There's a snap clamp here, but I got a funny feeling that that tubing may not want to go back on. In fact, my biggest concern is, as I mentioned, this tubing and this pipe are also 18 years old and probably real brittle. Now you might say, well gosh, how come you didn't replace that tubing or do other things maintenance-wise to that? And the answer comes down to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Meaning, my concern is that once I get in here and start moving this stuff around, something's going to crack. And boy, I tell you, if either one of those PVC pipes cracks at the wall there, I am totally screwed. So, no, since it's worked quite well for the last 18 years, I don't see the need to get in there and make modifications. As I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's always been my motto, and around salt water things tend to dry out and become brittle real easy. So I think the first thing we need to do is get the electrical unplugged out of there and get it so we can start working on it. So I've kind of got the plumbing cleaned up just a little bit. I got a funny feeling that those fittings are kind of funky, and it looks like there's silicone there. I don't ever remember putting silicone there, so that could end up becoming a problem by itself. But right around there, I think, is where I'm going to cut it, and hopefully it doesn't break or splinter. And then the discharge, I got the clamp off, and I'm just going to work at getting that tubing off. Now, to help ensure that I make a nice clean cut and don't end up splintering that really old PVC pipe, I did buy a new PVC pipe cutter. My concern is a saw or a hacksaw would cut that more evenly, but that's a whole lot of moving around, and that could cause other issues. So I'll just unpackage this, and hopefully with a quick, easy splice, the tubing will cut smoothly, cleanly, and nicely.
Do you want to stir things up in your tank? Create some rock and roll? Make your corals do the hula hula? Internal circulation is the movement of water within the tank. Increasing water flow inside the tank helps flush and sweep up debris. It entices corals to open fuller with greater polyp extension. Fish respawn naturally and move gracefully in the variable currents. G-Boat Wavemaker pumps can do this. 4 models, inexpensive to obtain, easy to install. Internal pumps magnetically grasp the sides of your tank, and each or all units have 5 effect settings along with separate speed and power controls. Or check out the advanced LED systems at affordable prices. Reef Breeders has a 2-year warranty on lights along with DC pumps, dosing pumps, and protein skimmers. That's reefbreeders.com. Reef Hobbyist Magazine believes that our hobby, our fellow hobbyists, and the animals in our care are best served by the free distribution of quality information. Reef Hobbyist Magazine provides hobbyists with critical husbandry information with an emphasis on marine ornamental breeding efforts. Reef Hobbyist Magazine is available for free in local fish stores across the country, or you can subscribe at www.reefhobbyistmagazine.com.
All right. And let's see if the tubing will come off just as easily. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, this could end up being much easier than expected. So now, does the water pump come out, or is it held in there somehow? And I'm not sure if that water pump is just crusted itself in position, or if it's screwed into position. 'Cause it doesn't seem as though it wants to come out. And I've checked, and it doesn't appear to be screws hold it Yeah, there sure is. Somehow they screwed the pump in place and then put this platform on top of it. Okay, so here's our first big obstacle. The pump is secured to the platform that it sits inside. To get inside there, this top has to come off, and there are 4 screws, 4 nice rusted screws along this side, and probably 4 on that side to lift this off so I can get in there and loosen those screws. This is going to be a challenge. Okay, so here's our first really big challenge. The top of this platform that the chiller sits on, the water pump's underneath it. The platform covers up the water pump, and the water pump is screwed into the plywood. The top of this box that's supporting the chiller is screwed to the rest of it, and it's real screwed with rusted screws, which kind of means I'm real screwed. So I'm trying to think of another way, because I can't get that old water pump out, and if I can't get the old water pump out, it's in the way. But I may have an alternative. I actually think it's pretty clever too. I'm going to lift up the chiller, and I'm going to spin this wooden platform 180 degrees around so the old water pump faces out this way, and the new water pump can fit in the end. That way I can get the new water pump in and still support the chiller and keep everything running. So I think that's how I'm going to address this. Okay, so I've got the platform turned around. You can see the water pump is poking out here. The old affixed water pump. And the new one, I'll just slide into that spot there and hopefully hook up to the existing tubing. And the chiller, I just spun it around on its platform. The only remaining issue will be, does the doghouse or the cover slip over it where that pump doesn't affect it, but I don't think it will. So let's go ahead and put the pump in there and see if we can start moving forward.